as you know, we are entering the Christmas season, and I've decided, along with giving my family gifts that I bought from the store, I'm making them crochet gifts. So for my dad, I made him a hat. For my mom, I made her a scarf. For one of my sisters, I giving her a top that I originally made for myself, but since she's kind of around the same size as me, I'm giving it to her because I did not like it. And for my other sister, I'm going to give her ear warmers because she goes to school in good old Connecticut. Do I know how to make one? No. That's why we're following a tutorial for it. That's this video. I'm going to be using this blue variegated yarn and my handy dandy 5mm hook. I have a bunch of these and I use them for almost all of my crochet projects. So without further ado, let's get started. This video is from Create and Crochet with Patricia Ventel, and the title of it is called Crochet Super Easy Headband for Beginners.
Hello, this is Patricia from patriciafenty.com, and today I have this tutorial on this super easy headband with this twisted design in it, and this is totally suited for beginners. It's an easy stitch. It's just a single crochet.
I'm just gonna skip over.
So yarn over, hold on to your tail with the opposite hand and pull the yarn through the loop, and that's a chain one. So keeping this quite loose on the shank of your hook, yarn over, and I'm making these chains quite loose, and what you're going to do is create a foundation chain that is long enough to fit comfortably around your head. You want it to be
So what's it? I have to measure my big ass head for my sister.
I'm going to create a chain that's 65 or 70 chains.
You said fit comfortably around your head? So it is a good thing that you provided a blog, so I don't have to like sit through the tutorial. From some of the tutorials that like I followed, especially from Hey Crochet, she also has the pattern in her blog, so like I could that like people whoever wants to make her patterns, like we could just do it without watching the video. But like it's kind of nice that people would provide a blog post and a YouTube tutorial just to see how it looks like in real, like in moving time, rather than like stills and pictures. So it says add one extra chain for the turning chain. So for her it was 65. She added one more for 66. So the first row is single crochet in the back bump of each stitch.
Each chain has these two front loops and then this back loop, and this is kind of a bump on the back, and we want to work into this back bump. So you'll turn your work and going into this bump here, not the one where your turning chain is. You go into the first one after your turning chain, going into that back bump. You'll yarn over, bring your yarn through, you'll have two loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through two loops, and that's a single crochet. Turn your work, and this is where the pattern repeat begins. So the first row, you'll skip your turning chain, and you have these V stitches at the top of your work, And there's your top loop and your bottom loop. And for this row, you'll work into the top loop with a single crochet.
I like how she's explaining like how to do the stitches, because if you're like a beginner, you might not know what the hell you're doing. So that's good.
Now we're going to do the row 3 repeat, and for this row you're going to do your single crochet into the bottom loop, the loop closest to you. So not the back loop, the one that's closest to you.
She could have just said the back loop.
All right.
And then we would know which. I honestly would have known what she meant. If she said back loop, because like this is basically like making ribbing, you know. But like when making ribbing or beanies, we all say, oh yeah, crochet in the back loops only for the rest of your pattern.
Several days later.
This is what I got. Just a quick try on, since it's for my sister. Wait, let me just take that off. Take that off. It has some give with the stretch. So I am going to go back to the tutorial and see. So I'm gonna go back to the tutorial and see what I need to do for assembly.
Then all you're going to do is cut yourself a tail, and you want to make it quite long. You want to make it quite generous because we're going to use that to sew the band together.
Dun, da, da, da. Sorry.
Thread your needle onto your tail end, the long tail end.
We don't have a needle. I'm not about that life. I'm too good for that life. So we're just gonna be using handy dandy crochet hook over here to loop.
Your right sides together, and then fold the band in half in this direction with the right sides together. So it's just like that. So they're kind of pinched together. And then you're going to bring those two pieces together and divide the band into thirds.
Together.
And then fold the band in half in this direction. With the right sides together.
Right sides together.
Like that. So they're kind of pinched together. And then you're going to bring those two pieces together and divide the band into thirds.
Divide the band into
So
thirds.
you have a third two pieces together.
Yeah.
And divide the band into thirds. So you'll have a third that's overlapped and a third on each side. So you have to fuss with this a little bit. Just line that up so it's in thirds. Just fiddle and fuss with it a bit here. And you'll take your darning needle and you can come through the back of the knot, and so that's all joined together, and then come through the second piece and then pick up the corner of the third piece and then come through the fourth piece, just like that.
So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna take my needle, go through the hook, go through all of these, and then loop it in like that. and then just like lace them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like so, like that. Okay. Not the. It looks good. It's manageable. So here's what it looks like. It's so cute. Like, what if I reverse it like this? Not so cute. It's not reversible. So yeah, I'm going to weave in the end, and I'll just tell you what I think about the tutorial and rate it 1 through 10. Alright, so what do I think about the tutorial? Honestly, thank God for the blog. Thank God that there was a blog. Thank God that I took the time to research and find out that Patricia had a vlog. And this is no hate to Patricia, like, she seems like a nice lady. However, like, a lot of crochet tutorials do this. They just like monologue before getting into the video. I'm like, I honestly don't care for the monologue. I just want to get straight into the tutorial. However, I do think this is a good tutorial for beginners. And as someone who has never made a crochet headband, it was pretty easy to follow. However, some of the terms that she used was like a little bit confusing, and I'm just like, what do you mean by that? Like, explain. Like, if she said front loop and back loop, then like I would have been like, oh yeah, that's usually what I do. But like, she didn't use that terminology, so that's why I got confused. From a rating from 1 to 10, I would give it a 7.7. Yeah. Super easy to follow. However, some of the terminology that was used in the video was just like difficult to understand, especially if you're like a very, very, very beginner level crocheter. You might not know what a lot of the terms are. But pretty easy tutorial. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the flip video. Bye.